Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our commodities update video. This is where we do analysis on natural gas, oil, US dollar, gold, and silver. We're looking at their support and resistance levels, as well as keeping things simple, what the current trend is, and what the most likely scenario price will head to for the next week. And if you guys are looking for the stock market update video, check out the video from yesterday where I did the dark pools, sentiment data, rate cuts, and all that data, as well as the overall market and MX7 technical analysis. Check out the video from yesterday. Let's get started on natural gas. All right, so natural gas here. Last week I talked about this being a very likely a bear break, stopping every single person out, and then we probably reverse. And this is exactly what happened. Because the only reason I was able to guess that is because there is 3 stop losses just nearby, right? All congested, very nearby each other over here, right? This low, and this low, this all-time low here. 3 pivots. So it was very, very probable that everybody's stop loss has been here, here, here. So essentially, this Thursday's candle here stop everybody out, and then this Friday they decided to hold the support, and we bounced. So now the question is, can the bulls form a higher low and higher high? So because of the size of this bounce compared to all these bounces we have previously, right? This is a big bounce as well. And they tried for the higher low here and didn't make the higher high and then failed. So can the bulls this time, big bounce, higher low likely set here. Can they break to a higher high this time, right? If not, it's just going to be still the range trade, right? Very clear is resistance 3.57 around these area. And support zone right around here, around this $3 zone here. So I zoom in, take a look, see if any kind of bounce is coming soon. So you can see, right, we pull back a little bit, pull back, and then bull played a little bit of defense here around these 3.2 levels, which is a lot of prior resistance here, here, right now acting as support. And because of the size of this move, now what we'll be looking for on the hourly trend is, can the bulls form a bare minimum hourly trend back to their favors? Then now we're looking back up to that daily higher high. Bulls can form hourly uptrends here. The probability of them breaking this high increases quite a bit. So let's see if they can pull it off. So far it's looking a little bit like a 15-minute hourly bull flag. But overnight opens, right, and Sunday night opens can be anything. It could just gap down, and this would just be gone, especially Sunday nights. So be careful on that. Sunday night futures, when it opens, it likes to gap either way. And if your chart looks a little bit different in mind, make sure to click this adjusted for contract gaps, so you won't have these contract gaps. All right, let's take a look at oil. So oil here, pretty much a V shape off of this drop. So this low was pretty much marked on all these lows. See how these lower wicks around this structure pretty much held at the same spot. Now we V-shape right back into resistance. We are back above the gateway of the structure, the $60 mark. Now we're back in here again. So yeah, oil is a very range trade instrument. Talk about this all the time. So if you're playing for oil, just play the extreme ranges. There's a little bit of resistance right here. Not that much, right? This support line here. Right, you can see still acting as support here, here. Broke below it, acted as a resistance, rolled over. Now a little bit of resistance here. Yeah, but if we crack above the $62 mark, we're probably going to come back to 64-ish here, around the 64.8 zone. And it'll probably just ping pong around these levels. Yeah, very range trade instrument. Very good if you're a range trader. All right, so look at dollar. So dollar here, nice bounce, right? We talked about that being after it being an uptrend, it's very likely bulls are going to defend its supports versus here, which is on a chop zone. Right, very clear uptrend here. Higher highs, higher lows, and higher highs. Every low is higher than the prior high, and then bulls are continuing to make those higher highs. So, as well as this is the right, we broke out of the resistance as well after this green line. Goes all the way back. Resistance, 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 resistance. Breakout. Back test. Continuation. Still no clear weekly uptrend yet. But I would like to see it more, make it a little bit more of a leg up and then pull back for the weekly higher low. See if it can form a weekly uptrend. If you're a bull. If you're a bear, you want to back test, retest the low of this red line again. It's pretty much broadening wedge, right? Longer term picture. Resistance, 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 resistance. Support, support, support. It's more of a broadening wedge. So if you're a bear, you want it to go all the way down to test this 96 again. But for that to even happen, you have to break last Friday's low, that pivot here, for the uptrend to be negated. So no signs of that yet. Bulls are in control for the last 4 weeks here. All right, gold and silver. So we talked about this last week, saying there's a good chance we're dropping, and we got that. Pretty much nailed the top. We don't nail tops and bottoms often, because nobody does. And so there's a couple signs here. One was that the silver dark pool we talked about coming in on the 17th, which is roughly around this first drop on silver. And gold made a new high, but silver didn't. So that was the first red flag. And then the second one here, you can see these triple tops, very clear, right? 1, 2, 3 triple top rejections. If you zoom in, let's see, go to the hourly. First test, second test, third test, couldn't get over it, and then we rolled over. So there was red flags, a couple of red flags coming in here before that big drop. And the question now is, what's going to happen next, right? So bulls are still actually okay, right? If we look at this chart, we haven't really broken the downtrend. I don't really count this as a pivot. This is literally just a flip. But so the last pivot here, this is where the last higher low and higher high for me. This is the clear higher low and the higher high, and we are still above it, right? So it's still in an uptrend. So no huge red flags, and if you can see this low, it's defended off of this structure currently, this high. So if you're playing off this structure for continuation, or maybe just a bounce, doesn't have to make new highs, right? You can play for a bounce here, and maybe it'll become like a tiny range. So you probably skill some out around here, and then put your stop loss right down here, and see if it plays out. If it plays out, obviously it's good, but if it stops you out, you're still in the green. That being said, obviously if it's pretty extended, you got to be a pretty experienced trader to play this after being this extended. But yeah, it's still an uptrend, and let's see if it consolidates more. Right. Even if it pulls back, right, it could be something like this. Get that initial big pullback, right, and then next thing you know, it goes sideways and forms an ascending triangle and then breaks out. So we get a quick pullback, come back to like 310s, 390s, and then kind of go like this. Next thing you know, right, it goes again. So watch out for that consolidation. See how far it pulls back. The retracement is going to matter a lot. Yeah, so far no red flags. What will be a red flag is once we Get a weak bounce here, right? Let's say we break above this little triple top we had um, for the last 3 days, right? Around this 4165. We break above, hits the low of this previous Friday here, and then rejects, and then rolls over and breaks to a new low here. That's a daily down, try and confirm, and the move is likely over. We probably won't hit new all-time highs for at least temporary for a bit before it consolidates. Yeah, because that'll be a daily downtrend confirm, and it will also break these pivots. Yeah, silver much weaker, right? You see that didn't make a new high here, and then had another leg down here. So what you want to see is when gold bounces, can silver kind of bounce it all back, kind of thing. Gain back its relative strength. If it cannot, then it likely silver moves likely over as well. Yeah, because look, it's ugly looking head and shoulders, but it's not really picture perfect. It's just very choppy here. But you guys get the head and shoulders psychology of it just uptrend into a downtrend. So if it breaks Wednesday's low, that's a downtrend. Confirmed. And we'll probably come back to visit this 44, 45 level here if we get that downtrend confirming. But it really depends on how gold's going to trade here. So yeah, keep on watching that relative weakness and strength. So when gold bounces, you want to see it if you're a silver trader, make sure that that weakness is still not there, right? If gold starts bouncing and silver barely bounces and you're in a long, when gold pulls back, it's going to pull back even more and you're likely going to get stopped out. So be kind of watching that. All right, that's all you guys. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you guys learn anything and support the channel. I will see you guys next week for more commodities and stock market updates. Have a great rest of you guys' weekend. Feel free to comment if you guys have any questions. And be safe out there. Keep your stop losses tight. I'll see you guys around.